Fukushima. Let me talk about that for a minute. I'm hurt because there's 8 million species on the death knell, that we're seeing biblical events playing out to mass die-offs in all species, emaciated. Pretending it didn't happen is not a solution. You can pretend it's a solution, but you are just destroying your future and your loved ones and your children's future. There's about 1,000 kinds of radioactive materials released from the Fukushima reactors. You can see how the decay chain goes: curium, the plutonium, the californium, etc., strontium. These are all very dangerous isotopes on the atomic level and forever. They help perpetrate that crime against humanity and the 8 million species. But nevertheless, it shows you how the radioactivity is able to cross the Pacific, cover the Pacific and the continents. Iodine was documented here, the xenons were documented, uranium included. By the way, all of the stricken reactors and spent fuel pools contain plutonium, which is named after the devil for obvious reasons. All their daughters are to be worried about because it's a meltdown. Same with the americium, the neptunium, and all the daughters of cesium, not just the 137, which is actually a tracer. If you look at the numbers, in 2011, 3,450 assemblies. It's around 5 million pounds. If you dig deeper, you'll see connotations. One of the stories there is the common pool, the fourth sentence down from the top in the middle. The common pool holds 6,241 assemblies. 6,002, that's 9,000 pounds. Just in the common spent fuel pool. The common pool had a window on one wall that was destroyed certainly by the tsunami that hit that place at about 110 feet. 6,291 fuel rods. The common pool had one window on one wall which were almost certainly destroyed by the tsunami. Each assembly holded 63 fuel rods. That meant that spot had 600,000 spent fuel rods in the common spent fuel pool. Not at the top of the buildings. The top of the buildings were different. So it's around 5 million. These are catastrophic numbers. And these are decades of reactor cores stored at the top of the building. Fukushima radiation is causing a series. So there's so many people have tried to warn you and inform you. For something so significant as 14,000 out of 100,000 births need surgery. How many are they missing? How many other illnesses show up that they don't catch? How many people just can't afford to go to the hospitals or don't have medical? But The animal kingdom is not going to be getting the same treatment. Not going to get doctors performing surgeries on their newborns. You're walking into hell. You better wake up. You better get right. You better make Earth's last stand. The new numbers coming out of Japan are staggering. Another study showing 14,000 children, newborns, need a surgery out of 100,000. This is across Japan, not just Fukushima prefecture or something. That still would be unbelievable, unimaginable. That's an event. This is extraordinary. Why would you go through take a chance and pretend they're in a building that don't exist? Why do something like that? Why are they pretending there's a pole in a building that don't exist? Are you not worried about something like that? Does that not concern you? Do you think that's the norm? Are you so complacent that you believe that that's not an issue, that doesn't matter? Because if you think it that way, then you're wrong. And you're in danger. You don't understand the significance of what is happening. You're dumping lethal doses into the ocean all day long. You can't dilute it per se. It's still going to be lethal till the end of time, our time, the human existence, the human experience. They've been dumping it in the water ever since. They're not even trying. It's impossible to remove the hundreds of radioactive materials, 1,200 radionuclides, 62 were allegedly reduced. You can't reduce it because you can't get close to the filters. The filters become many sieverts, hundreds of sieverts right away. So many lies, you can barely keep up with it. You're growing food right across from the bags. And they're shipping it to you and your children. They're targeting your loved ones. There's an agenda, and they're in on it, and you're not. They're out to destroy all life. You can't just, people have said, it's a depopulation, Dana, yeah, of all 8 million species. You have to wake up. You have to get busy. You have to start learning. You have to defend yourself from this weaponized industry. 30 million bags was 3% of the land in a single prefecture. You scale it up, that's 1 billion bags per prefecture. But you can't decontaminate it by doing that. The soil itself is radiated. The roads are radiated. The trees are radiated. The pollen, the water, the rocks, the houses, the buildings, the sidewalks, the schools. It's all radiated. That's how insidious nuclear is. That's how vicious nuclear actually really is. Radiation forecasts in Japan kept secret to avoid panic. Because the country was irradiated and they didn't want panic, better to let them die. Let them die of misery and agony a few years later and get out of the way. Do you think they put the call out to other nuclear plants to send volunteers when Fukushima melted down? Do you think they asked the nuclear colleges to send in the students to help them with the nuclear meltdown?
For example, immediately after the first hydrogen explosion, TEPCO gave out an order a request to all of these labor dispatching companies, and they said, send us people who don't mind dying. At that time...
send us people who don't mind dying. The vice governor suggested a Fukushima draft sale of foreign Geiger counters is banned. What do you think they done that for, Dana? Because they know you're too incapable, too incompetent to do anything about it, to speak out, or to call them on it, or to stand your ground, or anything else. The middle picture is reactor 4, it's gone. And so is reactor 3, and reactor 2, and reactor 1. We have a problem. And silence is not a solution. The media headlines was, elderly people should eat the radiated rice from Fukushima to help the farmers, and so that so that children don't eat it. So instead of not growing it there and jailing the farmers for growing in a dangerous poison place, they recommended the elderly eat the food, and they did. That's a genocide. Fukushima Food publicized growing food in the most radiated place on the planet. Why bother? You don't do it at Chernobyl like this. You can't go inside of Chernobyl, but they're claiming they're inside of Fukushima. And so, they're completely out of control. They're out of touch on top of that, and they're out of control. People from Fukushima Prefecture, the most radiated place on the planet, serve locally produced food to publicize the progress and recovery. Growing food by a nuclear meltdown doesn't solve a nuclear meltdown. Stupid. And then, so you have these organizations like the World Health Organization, United Nations, the World Trade Organization. You have UNSCLEAR and IRPA and the IAEA and the NRC. These acronyms, most of these people are the same people. Are closely related and barbecue on the weekends. And all of them seem to have this agenda to destroy everything. And they're the worst cowards you'll ever meet. It's easy to defeat them. All you gotta do is make a stand. All you gotta do is open your mouths. All you gotta do is voice your displeasure. They would run away and hide.